All right, folks, it's Rob Potsy Potchak, and I am live on the YouTube. So before we go ahead and start, like it says on the screen, follow and subscribe to both this YouTube channel as well as my Instagram account, instagram.com/Rob Potchak. Tonight, what I'll be doing is actually coloring some pieces I did earlier today. I've already been showing some of the other pieces that I've colored, like Lobo. Today I also did what I think is a pretty awesome Bizarro, and then only the second Joker I've ever drawn that I actually like the looks of. And I'm going for more of a cartoony look and everything. So tonight, what we've got on the drawing board, or on the drawing table, I guess. Here, hold on a second. Let me move this wire out of the way. There we go. We've got Cable, who somebody told me actually looks like Bill Murray, and I have to say, now that Roy mentioned that to me, I do agree that that looks like Bill Murray as Cable. And he even told me that I need to go ahead and draw more Bill Murrays. So I don't know if I will draw more Bill Murrays, but Cable does look like Bill Murray. We've got Spider-Man, who also has a balloon that he is holding up with his spider webs. We have Harley Quinn, who, yes, I know does not exactly look like Harley Quinn at the moment, but hopefully by the time she's fully colored, she will look a lot more like the Harley Quinn that we all know and love. And then, of course, for those pro wrestling fans out there, I drew a little Balor Club, Demon King Finn Balor. So we will go ahead and, you know what? We will start with the Balor Club Finn Balor and go ahead and color that one up. I'm pretty excited about coloring Finn Balor. So we will start with him. Earlier today, I was using a black pen, and I'm afraid I forgot to put the cap back on it. So we might have lost use of one of the pens. Something I totally don't normally do. Forget to put the ink back on, or the cap back on, so we will hopefully be good with where we are there. anybody who watches pro wrestling knows that Finn Balor is now on the NXT brand. And there you go. Finn Balor is now fully, just about fully colored. And I will probably post this back on the Instagram later tonight. Might add some color to the backgrounds and stuff. Might even fill in some of the spaces with a second coat, because obviously that'll add some highlight and detail in places that don't normally get it or didn't have it. So there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Finn Balor. What's everybody think? Oh, you know what? It is not done. We have to add in the Demon King's gum line. And now, Finn Balor, the Demon King, is almost done. I'm going to say it's still not 100% complete, because we all know that when you do black hair, the other portion of it is typically colored in with something so that you understand what black colored hair actually would look like. And that's normally going to be a dark blue. So now we are complete with Finn Balor, and we can move to our next piece. Now, with Harley Quinn, I got to make sure that I know which side of the hair is colored which color. So we're gonna go to the old internet. And it looks like the pink is going to be on her left side and the blue is going to be on the right, but I just want to be sure. And I think we're good now. I think I've got it. So on this, we're going to go ahead and color in there. It probably should be a little bit lighter of a blue, but I really want to add the effect of it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. But we are going to use a lighter blue for the eye makeup. We'll stick with the same pink because the pink actually looks pretty good there. So we're going to do that. And then she is a blonde. So the rest is going to be blonde hair. we're going for artistic license here, so we're going to just use some purple pants. The Margot Robbie version of Harley Quinn would probably wear these. They get a black leather jacket with purple highlights as well. And then color of her shoes. Color of her shoes. What does everybody think the shoes should be? How about this color? I'm kind of liking this idea. Anybody else feel like Harley Quinn could actually be getting away with just running around in Crocs? Like, I don't know if anybody would actually draw her wearing Crocs, but I tend to think that she would probably wear Crocs. So there we go. Now we have a Harley Quinn, fully colored. What does everybody think? We likey? So this one, I think, very well could go. I'm planning on actually scanning it in and putting these two next to each other. Think that might go over pretty well. So I'm pretty excited about that idea. Scanning them in and possibly doing a nice little print or maybe even a t-shirt of those two characters. I think that would be pretty awesome. So all right, now we've got Spider-Man with his balloon. Now, anybody who knows me knows that I really like the movie American Werewolf in London. And I bring that up because one of my favorite lines from that film is the little British kid sitting there and saying, "Naked American man stole my balloons." And it makes me laugh almost every time I watch that movie. My brother-in-law and I sit there and quote that movie. And actually, we quote its really bad sequel, American Werewolf in Paris, almost as often. And what we quote about that one is there's a line from Claire from Modern Family that I won't say here because, well, it's not really appropriate for children. Even though this channel is not stated to be appropriate for children, I just won't say that line right now for that reason. Anyways, sorry, I'm looking for like 7 different markers that I know I've got somewhere around here, but for whatever reason, I can never seem to find them when I'm doing these drawings. So that is definitely not the color that I was expecting. So we're gonna go ahead and start coloring in Mr. Parker here. Spoiler alert, Mr. Parker. I've got a couple different reds. So let's see which one we're going to use here. My friend Mike actually was telling me that his son Mikey felt inspired to draw after he saw me drawing earlier today. I always think that's funny. Mikey, by the way, has a lot more discipline than I do. He probably stays inside the lines better than I do too. Now, if you notice this picture of Spider-Man, I still show the ears. I talk about this all the time. Anytime I draw Spider-Man, I always think that his costume and his mask would still show ears. So I always draw the ears on Spider-Man. Now, I'm sure somebody's going to tell me that I'm absolutely wrong there, and that his stuff would not show ears. But I still like it, so I still draw them. So, and then I really like this color blue for Spider-Man's blue. It's not a big fan of the Eric Larson black and red Spider-Man suit. So I still like to draw the blue in there. And then I think the balloon is actually going to be a blue balloon. But we're going to make sure that we show some lighting effect in that by not coloring in the whole thing. And there we go. Another Spider-Man with his balloon. We'll add a little bit darker tone here. And there we go. So now we got Spider-Man done. What's everybody think? I think out of all the ones that I tried to capture the Scotty Young feel, my Spider-Man so far is the one that captures it the best. And then we had this guy who, like I said, my buddy Roy said reminded him of Bill Murray. And I kind of agree now. So we're going to go ahead and color Cable in. This one I used a different kind of pen when I was inking. Wanted to make sure that I actually caught the feel of everything. What I'm noticing is this Tombow pen, I believe. Oh no, a Spectrum Noir pen. Apparently is bleeding a little bit. That is okay. I don't mind the bleed. But we are going to need a light gray for the metallic arm cable. Apparently Cable's blue outfit brings out the color in his eyes. So we're going to use the same color blue there. I don't know why I went with a collared shirt with this. Obviously, I was going for he kind of looks like a kid look, even though he does have gray hair. You know, it's something that kids do these days. We want to make sure that we And we color everything in. Cable's one of those characters that does color coordinate his stuff a little bit better, so when he's wearing gloves, they match his pouches. Then I went for a Rob Liefeld styled weapon just because, well, we all know Rob knows how to draw very accurate weapons. So, but because this is totally a kid-friendly drawing, the weapon's gotta have the, this isn't a real gun, orange, because it's probably just a giant super soaker is what I'm thinking. And then I think Cable will probably be wearing even darker blue for his pants. And of course, he's got to have the brown boots on as well. I don't know why I make everybody wear Uggs. I kind of think it's funny. So these giant Ugg style boots. And then just to add a little more detail to the face, you know, we used a very specific blend there, so we'll There we go. The man known as Cable. Probably needs something on that elbow pad, right? And even his... There we go. We'll add some. There we go. Hopefully anybody that takes a look at this actually really likes the way that these came out. I've been sitting here coloring for about 30 minutes now, and really kind of like everything that I did today in terms of the artwork. But yeah, so let's go over who I worked on today one more time. Though I didn't start with him today. Lobo is one of my favorites that I've already done. Then we did Bizarro, who I really like the way that he came out. Then I worked on the Joker. After I did the Joker, I actually drew the Harley Quinn. After I did the Harley Quinn, I did Spider-Man. And it's weird, I was working on villains for some reason, and then all of a sudden I just went, you know what, I'm going to draw Spider-Man, why not? Then we did Finn Balor, who, let's see if we can actually get that one looked at by Finn himself. And then, of course, the most recent one, the man known as Cable. So, and that one still actually needs to be signed by me. So we'll go ahead and we'll sign that one real quick. Now, any of these originals can actually be purchased. All you have to do is message me on my Instagram, instagram.com/RobPotchek. Hopefully you also like the page and follow. And then on here, hopefully you also go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because, I do stuff like this all the time now, and really enjoying my time with everybody. See, somebody's joined us there. If you want, go ahead and say hello in the chat. That would be great, since it doesn't show me who's watching right now on StreamYard, who I'm using to stream the broadcast. Sorry about all the noise. At least this time I've actually got the sound working properly and everything, so you guys can hear me and see me, hopefully. Now the question is, what other character do I want to try to draw tonight? So, since I see that someone is in the chat and on the page, even though it's not showing me any of the comments, So yeah, so as you just saw there, the live comments actually do show up on StreamYard. So if you do post a comment, I should see it. So that way I can go ahead and answer any questions you might have. But before that, we're going to go ahead and do another drawing. If I can find my paper. That's not paper. That's not paper. So I'll be right back after I find some paper. All right, got some paper, so I'm coming back over to the drawing area. What is going on, Andrew Snarls? Longtime friend, first-time viewer of the show, I would believe. So now that I've gone ahead and drawn Cable, and I've drawn Spider-Man, I think the character that I've been wanting to actually try to draw, I think I'm actually going to give it a shot here tonight. It's going to scare me. I'm going to try to draw Swamp Thing. Now, I'm going to draw him as this cutesy character that I've been kind of drawing everybody as, and see if I can knock it out. So let's see what I can do there. Well, hopefully, Andrew, being a first-time viewer, you've actually enjoyed what you're watching from me. I know that it's probably not the most entertaining thing out there, but at the same time, I hope that it's at least somewhat entertaining for you. I would think that with Swamp Thing, what we're gonna do is have a lot of fun with like the line work that we do here, and not necessarily not necessarily have to abide by the laws of physics or anything. So here we go. Wish me luck. already not sure this was a good idea. Just the way that the characters conveyed. But we'll see if we can kind of correct that. Now, Andrew, you'll probably notice that I don't say a lot as I'm drawing, and that's because I'm actually trying to stick with the actual attempt to draw these characters. So if you have any questions or anything as you're watching along, don't hesitate to ask. But otherwise, you might see that I don't answer all the time, and I apologize for that in advance. My hand's always in the way too, so I apologize for that too. I'm hoping that a lot of what really makes Swamp Thing when you're drawing him is going to be the coloring. Because as you can tell, my Swamp Thing doesn't exactly necessarily look like Swamp Thing. So I'm going to definitely give props to those artists that actually do draw Swamp Thing on a regular basis, because I envy you. At least I got the eyes right. Although even those, I think they probably have more of a thicker line above them. And I think like I said, I think what's really going to determine whether or not this ends up looking like Swamp Thing is going to be the coloring of him. At least I'm really hoping that's going to be what it is. I just realized that his nose is going to be more like that. I can always start over. Yes, I can, except I always like to see exactly how far I can get before I throw it away. And yes, sometimes I do actually throw the artwork away. Probably not the best thing there, but it does happen from time to time. So I'm going to say that we're going to try not to have that happen at all here, but that's why we're starting to do the coloring. Let's see where we go with it. The interesting thing is going to be all the different greens that we end up using here, because I'll probably, I've got 50 different color markers. And of those, know I've probably got 7 or 8 greens. But with this drawing being so necessary to show him in his element of the green, don't be surprised if I use all 7 different greens, all the while doing different bases of green. It does kind of look like a Wookiee, yes. I was thinking the same thing, except it's a green Wookiee. And a very green Wookiee, for that matter. Try not to use more of that brown because of that. You can actually tell by my cheap paper that this is kind of falling apart at this point. It's too bad the actual show for Swamp Thing isn't going to get a am I using reference? Yes, I've like 38 different pictures of Swamp Thing up here on the screen, but the only one that I'm really trying to use as a reference while still trying to do this as a kitty thing is here. I will share the screen and show you what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this piece right here. So definitely got a different different feel to it than that. Almost looks like more like my character Yard Waste than it does Swamp Thing. So maybe we will chalk Swamp Thing up to a professional artist only characterization. Kind of looks like a dog without ears too, so. I think for Swamp Thing to look more like Swamp Thing, I probably would have had to do a smaller head. now I'll stop sharing the screen. And, you know, by the end, I caught some of the things that make Swamp Thing, but yeah, definitely feel like the head probably came off incorrectly. So you know what? If we were just to try to draw the head of Swamp Thing, we would probably do it like this. This time I'll try to give it more of a real comic book character feel instead of that art style that I've been trying to work on. So, and I still don't know if I'm going to like this, but and then with that, see, the show actually was very. I thought that it was very well done. Maybe not as good as Doom Patrol, but I thought that it was very well done. I was very pleased with the casting and everything else. Probably still need some green in there. Let's see if we can add some. There we go. Yeah. And there we go. It looks like a 6th grader drew it. But I feel much better about it now. However, if I were to go back over it with this, I probably draw a little bit more like that into it. Almost make it look like these jowls that he has are coming around. And all right, now I would say that I'm done. The Swamp Thing. And we'll probably never try to draw him again. Hey, like I said, I'm going by this piece right here, Andrew. And if you're gonna call him the Grinch thing, I think that I covered most of that pretty well. Although yes, his bottom part of his mouth, now that you mention it, does kind of look like the Grinch. But that's why I'm not drawing for DC Comics. So we'll try to do one more drawing tonight. And I'm not even sure who I want to try to draw. So, yes, make me feel terrible about my drawings. I appreciate that. I'm kidding, by the way. I don't feel terrible about what I drew. I actually kind of like it. I'm sure somebody will take it off my hands if I gave it away. So, let's see. Where'd my pencil go? I have one in my hand, but this one is definitely not the one I was using earlier because it is not sharpened at all. Ah, there's the one that was sharpened and is also no longer sharpened at all. But let's see. I drew the Joker earlier today. This is saying I'm still sharing a window. I know I'm not, so I'm gonna go ahead and just remove the sharing. Yeah, we can stop sharing that. And I'll try to keep my hand out of the way. It's hard considering my hand's always in the way. But like I said, I drew the Joker earlier. So now, what if we... What if we tried to draw this guy? You can tell me, you know who it is in a minute. Draw a Snork. No, I already got a character that I'm going to draw right now. Maybe next time with the Snork. Although I bet you're going to say that this guy looks like somebody else anyway, just because of how I'm drawing him. But I think I'm going to have fun drawing him, so. This character I'm not using reference for, so this is going to be my interpretation of what he's supposed to look like. Pardon my cough. Throat's a little dry. Got a message coming in, it seems like. I think we're good there. And yes, I am drawing the penguin. I'm going to leave the top hat off, as well as the umbrella, but yes, we have ourselves the penguin, and not the Danny DeVito version. And then I see him wearing an odd colored suit. Just because I see the penguin as the type of character that wouldn't care what everybody thinks of him wearing a suit. So he'd wear whatever color he wants. I was saying earlier that my friend's son probably stays in between the lines better than I do when it comes to coloring. And I still think I'm right with that statement. I like how your statement of penguin also led to bad guys always have red eyes. I'm kidding. They don't always have red eyes, but they do seem to more often than not. But there we are. There's the penguin. He obviously is a little bit chubbier than most of the other characters. So there you are. I've drawn some Swamp Thing. I've drawn some, and I've colored in some characters, but then just to finish off the night with another Batman villain, I went ahead and drew the penguin for everybody. Andrew, it's been a blast. I hope you've enjoyed yourself watching me try to chew bubblegum and walk at the same time. This is definitely the type of thing that not a lot of people can do at once. Man, my throat is getting dry. But I had fun. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to sign off here. And as I do, I want to remind everybody to subscribe to the page. Make sure that you like the video that I put up here. Comment in the section below, like characters that you want to see me draw in one of these next streams. I would love to have some characters that I've never tried to draw before. Obviously, I like sticking to cartoon characters, but recently I have been drawing more of the comic book characters again. So if you have any that you want me to try, please go ahead and mention them in the comments section, and I will see what I can do about getting to them and seeing about your favorite characters as well. On top of that, follow my Instagram page, because my Instagram page is going to be where I actually post these, as well as where I sell them. So if you like any of these drawings and you'd actually like to have an original piece of artwork, right now, any of the sketches that I do, I am selling for $25 a piece if they're on this size paper, or a sketch card for $10. I also have some deals like 3 sketch cards for $25 or 5 for $40. And I would love to have some people actually want some of these. So anyways, Andrew, had a blast. Hope you did. I will probably hop on Facebook and post these different images, and going from there. Hope everybody else has a good time when they watch this video, and I will see you soon. Everybody be safe. Have a great night.